Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of My Unfair Advantage. I often get asked the question about content. How do you come up with ideas? How do you research stuff to put on your site or stuff to create products out of, and there are so many different things that you can do to generate content for your website, for your members area, or for your blog, or even to create content that's going to compose your product. I always say to people, the more formats that you give people the same exact content in, the merrier they're going to be. So what I mean by that is research a topic, just like you would a book report. If you were doing, I know that at one point in your life, even in grammar school, kids are got to do book reports. So regardless of the level of education that you have, at one point in your life, you were asked to do a report on something, which means you were given some sort of a reading assignment and you were told to create some sort of a summary, make an outline, and discuss what you read. Well, that's exactly what creating an information product is about online. You're going to go and research a topic. You're going to then write about the topic, and then you're going to publish that report or that ebook or whatever the heck you want to call it. Now, the cool thing about that publication now that you've made, let's say it was a book report, right? Let's say you went and you looked up the new trend, I don't know, underwater basket weaving or whatever the hell you're researching or whatever niche you're in, and you learned all the latest basket weaving techniques and the latest materials and all the latest supplies and all that stuff, and then you went and you decided that, well, I'm going to compile all this data, I'm going to make a report about it, and that my report is 30 pages long, or think of it like a term paper, and I'm going to now take all that information and I'm going to publish it. I'm going to get a graphic made, a cover made for it, and I'm going to sell this for $5, or I'm going to give it away in exchange for a name and email address to build a list in this niche, whatever. The point being that information marketing is all about gathering information, then putting it in nice, neat little piles. Well, text is just one of those nice little piles, because now you can take that nice little pile of text that you organized based on your research, and you can turn on your microphone and just read it. Just read it. And now you've got an audio version of your nice little pile of text. So you've got now two media. You've got a visual PDF or readable media. You've also got an audio playable media, a media that can be downloaded onto a mobile device. You now have two forms of delivering that content to people. And if you go the whole way and then create maybe a video and maybe create some PowerPoint slides, or literally go all the way out, turn on your webcam and actually do a presentation, just like if you were doing an oral book report, right? I know you remember having to do those at one point or another. We all crapped our pants and had to stand in front of the class and give a report, and we were graded on our oral presentation skills. Well, you know what the difference here is? Grow up, because now you're making money out of it. So do it. Turn on your camera. Don't be afraid, because now you don't just have a book. Now you've got a complete multimedia product. Now you've got audio, video, and text, and it's all the same information being delivered in multiple little piles. You've organized it, you've gathered it. But a lot of people say, well, Omar, what if I want more than just audio and text? What can I put inside of my members area? Well, you know what? On entrepreneur.com, I found this cool article by this guy that I've never even heard of before, but he seems kind of cool. His name is Eric Sue, a little young, but he put together a pretty cool article about the different types of content pieces that you can create without even writing a single word, and some of them are really cool. So I said, let's talk about these things. Now, I think this particular article, he's more geared towards content for your blog. But if you think about it, anything that could be downloadable or viewable from a members area could be a form of content. Have you ever seen an information product that didn't just include an ebook as well as an MP3 and a video, but maybe also some sort of images like a process map, a flow chart, a diagram, right? That could be a whole separate piece of media. I've seen people that actually sell as an upsell. They offer for maybe 15, 20 bucks the digital download of their mind map. The mind map that they created with maybe Bubble.us or whatever other mind mapping software application. They literally created a mind map or a flowchart of their product on mind mapping software, and now they render it as an image, a JPEG or something like that, and now they charge an additional 15, 20 bucks for that person to get that visual component. Let me tell you, that sells very, very well, especially for people like me. You know why? Because I love pictures. Whenever, I mean, this stemmed all the way back to grammar school. Let me tell you something. When I had to pick a book, I picked the one with the most pictures. And I still do. I love pictures. I love infographics because why? Our mind thinks in pictures. So images are a great way. And look, that's the first thing that Eric Sue's talking about here at entrepreneur.com for this particular article. He talks about an image gallery. So how about including an image gallery with your product? How about creating a product completely out of images instead of ebooks? How about literally banners? Like I've seen products that are created with slider tools, flip books. There's all kinds of ways of delivering your content. And Eric here is talking about an image gallery. Instead of words, filling your blog posts with pictures. If your blog is personal in nature, create galleries based on your own observations and experience. If it's a business website, how about behind the scenes gallery or collection of product related images? I'm not in the offline niche, but if you have offline clients, an image gallery of their company, the behind the scenes of their company and things like that could be a great source of content for the blog of that company. Now, MP3s in the sense of music, music, my blog, no, not my kind of thing. But he's talking about a song roundup here. Similarly, just like you would with images, create a collection of songs that capture mood. Okay, if you want to put some sort of music, if maybe you're in the music niche or music is somehow related to your niche and you're going to put music, the one thing I'm going to tell you that you should not ever do is have music that auto plays when somebody lands on your website. The worst thing you could do is have music auto playing, and because you know what happens is when there's a video that auto plays, people generally know how to stop a video. They click on it. When it's music that's auto playing, it usually catches them off guard and they can't find the stop button because it tends to be a little tiny button somewhere on the side, on the bottom. They're going crazy, and you're generally just going to piss them off because they're probably browsing at work, and all of a sudden, they go to your website and full blast. They didn't realize music was going to play, and now all of a sudden, coming out their speakers, whoop, there it is, or whatever else kind of crap you're playing. So be very cautious about that. Quote collection. Now, I've seen this in the form of memes. You can put pictures of quotes. I know, but you can put inspirational images with quotes. Those are very popular in offices, right? You got the mountain climber on the mountain and some kind of quote about determination or what have you, right? No matter what subject your website covers, there's a quote for it, or better yet, a collection of quotes out there that'll inspire your readers. Search for your industry topic / quotes or whatever. Go to Google and find some quotes, and that could be a great section for your blog, your website. I love inserting quotes in my ebooks, in my reports. So if I'm maybe at the beginning of a chapter in an ebook, I like inserting a quote from some famous person about the topic that I'm about to discuss. So here's another one, a link roundup. I've never really heard it called a roundup. And I like to stay away from the word curation, so I'm going to have to disagree with the author here. I'm not going to use the word curation, but I can understand a blog roll or some sort of a resource section where maybe you gather 10 or 20 industry links or similar links to the topic at hand, and you paste them in there so that people can go and visit like-minded websites, niches, authors, and things like that. So the one thing that you got to be mindful here is the moment that you're doing that, you're literally sending your visitor somewhere else. So think about that before you do it. Video series, collections of YouTube or Vimeo videos. Now, there's no reason that you can't have a section where you paste other people's content. other people's videos, other people's YouTubes or Vimeo videos inside of a section in your members area. Again, things to be mindful of. There may be discussions about other URLs in those videos. There may be clickable ads in those videos if you're posting YouTube videos and things on there. And you very well are opening a door that's going to lead your visitor, your member, away from you and possibly into someone else's funnel. But again, if you're looking for content, if you're looking to expand on a particular topic and you don't want to create a whole bunch more stuff and you need to fill up a page with content, go to YouTube and type in your niche, your topic, and maybe go through a few things and find some video content that you can insert in your members area or in your blog or whatever it is about it. How about an audio interview? Now this is cool. This is popular. Creating audio interviews is incredibly easy. I got to agree with the author on this. If you need a recording program, you can use Audacity. Super duper easy to use and it's free. As a matter of fact, Melinda recently recorded our entire ebook for Easy Video Solutions. She recorded the entire thing herself using Audacity. Relatively simple, right? She went in there, first time user of Audacity, clicked record, started recording, and before you knew it, she was editing, adding effects, and creating MP3s and doing all kinds of stuff. So a very powerful tool that's free. And the thing about doing an interview is you can go and just ask a few people that are known in the industry that you're writing about. So during your research for your topic, you obviously must have read about 3 or 4 pieces from different authors. Well, how about trying to contact those authors and asking them for an interview, then record those interview on a related note, podcast, right? So running your own podcast. Now, everybody's like, oh, what's a podcast? What's the difference between a podcast and MP3? Look, it's the same thing. It's just an industry term. Podcast just means an audio recording that was placed somewhere on the web and is streamable. It can be played back by hitting a play button. That's all that a podcast is, really. So you can actually go and post, and there's a lot of podcasts sites out there. iTunes, for example, is a podcast site. You can go in there and load your podcast, which is just your audio recording, onto iTunes, and now it can be downloaded and streamed by the public, and thereby get you some exposure as well. So again, audio recordings, audio interviews with people in the industry. What I am going to advise you against, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine, don't try to create a product out of just interviews. That's kind of lame. It's a played out type of tactic that a lot of people did in the late 90s and early 2000s when the internet and internet marketing and digital information product publishing was kind of just becoming a fad. They're like, well, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know how to create a product, so I'm just going to go interview a bunch of people that know how to create products. I'm going to ask them to talk to me about creating products. I'm going to record that, and then I'm going to make a product about creating products based on the recordings that I made with product creators. Then what I'm going to do in order to get traffic to that product about making products is I'm going to ask those product creators to email it to their lists. Lame. Don't do that because it just annoys the product creators, and if you approach me with that kind of thing, I'm just going to send you away. How about a video interview? Now, if you want to take it to the next level, nowadays, depending on when you're listening to this, there might be even more advanced things than Google Hangouts, but there's all kinds of stuff like FaceTime, even Skype, GoToWebinar, where you could literally do a video interview and using your actual webcam. Computers nowadays, again, the technology, I've always talked about the advancements of technology creates new opportunities for us. 5, 6, 7 years ago when you went and you bought a laptop in the store, it didn't come with a built-in webcam. Why? Because the technology just wasn't there. The camera lenses just weren't small enough. The technology to stream just wasn't there. There weren't platforms out there like Google Hangouts that could record and stream multiple camera feeds at the same time. But now there is. So you could literally go and book a video interview with somebody and log on to either Skype or whatever other video sharing tool and record a video conversation with somebody. Have a list of questions prepared, 5 or 6 questions, talk for 2 or 3 minutes on each one of the questions. Boom, you've got a 30-minute interview in the wraps. Now you have a video interview, you have an audio podcast, you have a PDF, you've got some images, a mind map. You've literally got a full-blown multimedia product. We talked a little bit about slide decks earlier in the form of slideshows. The beauty of sharing slide decks as content pieces on your various sites, and different web properties, is that you don't have to create them yourself. You can create your own images, but you can also find interesting presentations on sites like SlideShare that you can embed on your own website. Now, the thing with embedding slideshows and things like that, again, remember you're taking code that is provided by a third party that was created by yet another party. So chances are there's going to be advertisement in that code. There's going to be other stuff in that code. But again, it's another medium to deliver content to your people in. An infographic. This has become very, very, very popular. You can get infographics created, and these are basically charts, pictures. You can do research on a specific subject, get a whole bunch of statistics, and an infographic is generally a storyline told with pie charts and interesting data that's revealed very visually. So just like you would a PowerPoint presentation in the form of slides, this would be one long graphic revealing all of the statistics, the metrics, and everything that you found in your research. Now, this is awesome, and not anybody is doing this. I think the only person online that I see doing this a lot is Brad Goss. Comics. Alternatively, if you are a strong illustrator, you know one, this is a great way to illustrate things. Recently, a lot of what we've been seeing online in this form of video has been those illustrated, hand-drawn type of graphics, and the technology is becoming more and more available commercially, where you can upload an image and then the software goes and renders a little hand that draws the image for you. So it literally reverse engineers the creation of those images for you right on your screen with the software. And similar to that, you can actually get comics created that tell the story of your topic, or what it is you're trying to convey, of your content, basically. Polls and surveys. Not only polls and surveys, not only are they easy to create, because there's all sorts of plugins and tools and even free things out there that you can use. There's like SurveyMonkey and stuff like that. But it's going to give you valuable insight into your customers and your marketplace and your product. You can check out SurveyMonkey. They actually have a free version out there to get started. But again, this is stuff that you could literally insert into your members area and integrate into your product. We've gone over 13 different methods already that you can create content for your site, for your blog, for your members area. Here we're talking now, number 14. He's talking about reblogging. I gotta be honest with this part. I don't like reblogging in the sense of curation. The reason I don't like playing around with curation is because the majority of people do it wrong. They don't give credit. And curation has just become a buzzword. It's just become an industry buzzword that has become, majority of people use this word to replace stealing, really, because most people that are curating are doing it because they're lazy, because they're just looking to fill content in without having to create it themselves, and they are basically going to other sites and stealing it. And I hate that. They don't give proper credit where credit is due. Look, for example, right now, I am creating content. I am sharing content with you on a topic that I found on a website. And I was very open with you about where I found it. I found it on entrepreneur.com. I gave credit to the author. The author is Eric Siu. He's the CEO of a company called Single Grain. He's the founder of Growth Everywhere. And he's created this cool, this cool blog post. And I wanted to share it with my followers, my subscribers, because there was a lot of cool information here. I enjoyed it. And I didn't go and copy it and paste it into my own blog and take credit for it, and you should never do that. If you were ever going to do something like that, what I would recommend that you do is that you use an RSS feed, and just subscribe to the RSS feed for that person's site and put that on your own site. That way they're literally being credited, and their exact post information is coming up through RSS on your own site. Now, here's something that I would recommend: a guest post. Now, if you can't find your own content to gather or compile, or you don't want to go through it, why not ask the creator of the post that you're interested in or the topic, why not ask him to create something for your blog and say, hey, look, I've got readers too, and if you'd like some exposure, would you like to post that post on my blog as well? Can I maybe give you a guest spot? And give that guy credit on your own blog. I love seeing guest posts on blogs as opposed to just curated posts or stolen content or material. Customer generated content is also awesome. You don't want to generate your own content all the time, because you know what? I gotta be honest, it gets kind of stale. It's always good to poll your audience to find out what they want to hear about, but it's even better when you ask your audience to contribute. You can have a really cool contest and ask people to submit posts, maybe give something away and say, hey, I'm going to have a contest for the month of March. I would, if you'd like to be part of the contest, I'm giving away XYZ, maybe put a picture of a prize or something like that. I'm going to select the best article will get posted, or I will post every article and the best one will win a prize or whatever. So you can instantly generate a whole bunch of content for your website that you can now release in the coming months. And you did it all by just offering a prize, and you made it fun, and you engaged your readers, and you created some content for your site at the same time. And this works not just for your blog, but for membership sites as well. So if you have a paid membership site or paid product, why not include your audience in the creation of content? Chances are you've got a couple of experts on the topic in your audience, just as you might be an expert on the topic. And ultimately, outsourcing written content. Ghostwriters are a great source of content. Now, the thing though is, if you're going to be a cheapskate and you're going to go to these like real cheap sources of articles where they're like writing a 500-word article for you for $3, chances are you're getting rehashed material. Somebody's going to some article database, they're copying and pasting, they're spinning, they're doing 2 minutes worth of work for $3. If you really think that someone somewhere, some educated individual is going to spend a few hours researching your topic and crafting a genuine, unique article from scratch for $3, you're mistaken. Chances are you're going to get that thing back, and just the language, the grammar, everything's going to be horrendous. You're going to have to really work. So outsourcing the content creation, finding a ghostwriter. There's lots of sites out there. I recommend ContentDivas.com, CyberHubOnline.com. There's a few good sites for outsourcing content creation, but again, you've got to be involved in the editing of that content once you receive it. So I want to give a shout out to Eric Sue from Entrepreneur.com for creating this really cool post. I hope that you got some cool and clever ideas for creating content for your information products and for your members areas and even for your blog, because sometimes, no matter how content savvy, no matter how much of an expert you are in your specific niche, sometimes you get writer's block, sometimes you just draw a blank, and sometimes you just have to come up with so much content all the time that you draw a blank and you're just like, oh man, what the hell am I going to talk about? Trust me, I'm speaking from experience right now. At the time that I recorded this, you're watching the replay obviously, but at the time that I recorded this was episode number 195 for My Unfair Advantage. So that means that 195 weeks in a row, I've had to turn to my wife a few hours before a webinar and say, what are we going to talk about tonight? And I've had to open up PowerPoint or Keynote and started to create a presentation. So after a while, you kind of wonder like, oh boy, what are we going to talk about? So again, don't be afraid to reach out and find new, interesting ways to create and gather content. Always give credit where credit is due. Don't ever plagiarize, and make it fun, make it engaging. Find as many mediums that you possibly can to engage. There's video, there's audio, there's text, there's images. As fun and exciting and engaging as you can make your content, that's how much you're going to attract people, and that's how much you're going to keep them interested, and that's how much they're going to share your information and generally revere you and become your fans and followers. I hope you've enjoyed this content today about creating content, and I look forward to seeing your content on your blogs very, very soon. Take care.